Okay, guys, it says I'm live, so I want to come on here and talk something about Seneca. I want to talk about Seneca. Seneca was a Stoic philosopher, lived a pretty incredible life, advised emperors, and what he says here is to bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. And so we think about what is it that we define as misfortune inside of our lives? And how long is that pain associated? When we do experience misfortune, how long is pain associated with misfortune? You know, generally, if we face something where it's physical misfortune, you know, usually that's a pretty limited amount of time. Sometimes it goes on. Something that Eckhart Tolle says is that when you're facing something like that, to associate yourself with the present moment. You know, and a question that you can ask yourself that will bring your focus into the exact now is, what am I lacking in this moment? And when you ask yourself that question, it associates you with just being, with being present. And so to bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. And so what we think about is, where are we facing misfortune today? You know, where is the pain associated from misfortune? And generally, when we look at misfortune, when we experience that inside of our lives, it's from loss, isn't it? We're losing something. You know, like when we look at today, what we've lost is we've lost what we could call as peace inside of our country. With these riots, I don't want to get into that, but you know, with all this stuff that's happening right now, ultimately we've lost peace, and hopefully we come out the other side of it with something that we have gained. Ultimately. And so I want to talk about one more thing here, is that think of a person who has mastered a calm mind in the face of misfortune. I'm sure that there's somebody inside of your world, somebody that you know, somebody that you can think of that has mastered facing misfortune with a calm mind. And when you apply that, when you think about that person and you think about the current misfortune that you're facing, because one thing we can be sure of is that inside life, we're always going to be facing challenges. We're always going to be faced with misfortunes. And so when you think about that person that personifies the ability to remain calm in the face of a storm, what would they do inside of your situation? How would that person react? What steps would that person take? And if you can take those lessons that you learn by diving into how that person would respond to reacting to the burden of misfortune, you can apply those principles into how you're going to respond and how you're going to react. A calm mind will literally serve us for the rest of our lives, developing a calm mind. So I ask you, what tools could you put inside of your toolkit to help you handle misfortune with a calm mind? As Seneca puts, to bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. And that is to develop emotional mastery. In a way that I talk about that inside of the course that I'm developing right now, and inside a PDF that I have down below, is becoming the spear. What does it take to become the spear? Ultimately, our body and our mind are our tools. There are tools to interact inside of this realm of life. And so how do we develop our mind and our body to become the spear so that we are the most effective tool that we possibly can be? Anyway, guys, if you want to know more about that, grab that PDF down below. I will see you tomorrow.